This video is one of 3 in a series produced by the League of Women Voters of Bucks County, a nonpartisan volunteer grassroots organization. The other 2 videos are titled Register and Become an Informed Voter and Vote Securely by Mail. The League of Women Voters does not endorse candidates or parties. Our mission for over 100 years is to improve citizen participation in our country and to empower you, the voter, to exercise your constitutional right to vote. We appreciate the assistance of the Bucks County Board of Elections in the production of these videos. In 2019, several new laws were passed by the Pennsylvania legislature modifying how we can register and vote. In addition, here in Bucks County, we will have a new voting system. Added to that, we are in the midst of a pandemic which makes many of us more cautious than normal. The League wants to ensure that you, the voter, knows what to expect in November. We urge you to vote. Bucks County is launching a new elections portal which will be updated regularly as things change to give information on changes caused by legislation or litigation, or to give updates on things like deadlines and drop boxes. Make a note. The general election is held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November every year. If you need to register to vote, or if you are not sure whether your registration is up to date, please see the League program Register to Vote in 2020. This general election will not just be for the office of the President and Vice President. Note that these appear as presidential electors on the ballot. We will also be voting for members of the Pennsylvania Attorney General, Auditor General, and State Treasurer, and for the U.S. House of Representatives, and a representative for the Pennsylvania General Assembly. Note that neither of Pennsylvania's U.S. Senators are on the ballot this year. Senator Toomey's 6-year term is up in 2022, and Senator Casey's is in 2024. Moreover, none of the Bucks County State Senators are running this year. And Bensalem will have a referendum on the ballot. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting shortage of poll workers, some polling places may need to be relocated. And some precincts move in every election for a variety of reasons. To locate your polling place, check these websites. All you need to do is enter your home address and follow the instructions to find out the location of your polling place. Or you can phone the Board of Elections or check the elections portal. All polling places will be fully accessible to people with disabilities. In the 2020 election, there are several changes to the process of voting. Some changes are due to the coronavirus and others are due to changes in the laws. As in the past, on arrival at your polling place, you will check in with a poll worker who verifies your registration and you sign in. During the primary, the health department issued safety guidelines for polling places. It is expected that these guidelines will be renewed for the general election. In every precinct, polling places will be equipped with plexiglass barriers and poll workers will wear masks. The public will be required to wear masks and to respect social distancing. Hand sanitizer and cleaning supplies will also be available to maintain a safe environment. Restrooms with soap and water are available at every polling place. Any voter unable or unwilling to wear a face mask will be permitted to complete a provisional ballot outside the polling place. For most voters, there is no requirement for a voter ID at the polls. However, the first time you vote in a new precinct, you will need to show either your voter registration card or a paper record with your name and address, such as a bill or a driver's license. No photo ID is required for anyone. In 2020, Bucks County introduced a new, more secure voting system. We will be voting using hand-marked paper ballots, which will be read by electronic scanning devices. You may be wondering why we changed the system we had used for so many years. In 2019, the state mandated that all unverifiable voting systems must be replaced, and the system used in Bucks County at that time was not verifiable. Hand-marked paper ballots are considered the safest way of ensuring that the voter's intent is recorded and counted accurately. Electronic machines can be tampered with or can have mechanical problems, which could result in an incorrect count. This is even true of the electronic scanners being used with paper ballots. However, because the actual paper ballot is retained, an audit can detect the error and a recount can be taken if necessary. Our old machines did not have that capability. There was no way to know if a machine malfunctioned. The new system is really quite easy. Once you are signed in, poll workers will give you the ballot, a pen for completing the ballot, and a manila folder for concealing your completed ballot. You may use your own pen as long as it is a regular ballpoint pen, not a felt tip or gel pen. Pens and manila folders will be collected when you have finished voting as you exit the polling place. Sanitizing wipes will be available to wipe pens and surfaces. Please note that every polling place has restrooms available for voters wishing to wash their hands after voting. You will take your ballot, folder, and pen to a table which will have multiple three-sided privacy screens where you can mark your ballot privately. To mark your ballot, you simply fill in the oval to the left of the name of the candidate of your choice. To vote for a write-in candidate, fill in the oval next to Write-in and write the name in the space allowed. No stickers can be used. Be careful to check both sides of the ballot to be sure you vote in all races. If you make a mistake or wish to change your vote, a poll worker will give you a new ballot, and the old ballot will be marked spoiled and placed in a secure envelope. If you have difficulty reading the text on the ballot, you can ask to use a magnifying sheet while you fill in the ballot. Each polling place will have 2 of these. For the first time this year, there will no longer be a shortcut, straight party option to vote for all candidates of one party. However, this does not prevent you from selecting only candidates from one party, one by one, as you vote. You are not allowed to use stickers or paste on labels for write-in candidates because the ballot scanning machine cannot read them and may become jammed. The names must be handwritten or stamped on the ballot and the oval next to the name filled out. Having completed your ballot and checking it over on both sides, place it in the manila folder and take it and the pen to one of the 2 scanners at the polling place. Follow the prompts on the screen and feed the ballot into the machine, retaining the folder. The folder and pen will be collected as you leave. If you mistakenly overvoted, meaning you voted for too many candidates in any one race, your ballot will be returned to you and you can choose to get a fresh ballot and correct the overvote or submit the ballot as is, in which case the overvoted race from your ballot will not be counted. You will not be notified if you undervoted or failed to vote in a race. When you feed the ballot into the scanner, it will make a digital copy of it, and the votes will be tallied in the machine's memory. The actual paper ballots will drop into a secure box attached to the scanner. The vote tally, recorded on a thumb drive, as well as all of the paper ballots, will be delivered to the Board of Elections at the end of the day. Your ballot, the one you actually marked with a pen on Election Day, will be retained for 2 years in the case of presidential elections and 1 year for all other elections, for use in any subsequent audits or recounts. In the case of an election audit or recount, your original paper ballot will be used. In this way, we can be sure that each voter's original intent is counted. Unforeseen problems sometimes occur. For example, in the June primary, some ballots did not fit into the scanner. So what is being done to ensure that that doesn't happen again? Staff shortages due to COVID-19 at the company printing ballots for Bucks County meant that some ballots were slightly larger than they should have been. For the general election, additional quality control measures are being taken to ensure that this error is not repeated. What if there's a power failure or a scanner breaks? Each polling place will have 2 scanners, providing a backup if one breaks or malfunctions. Moreover, every polling place will have a secure red emergency ballot bag. If both scanners are down, voters can deposit their ballots in the emergency bag, and these ballots will be taken to the Board of Elections to be scanned at the close of the polls. What if you cannot read or mark the ballot due to a disability? In that case, you will have the option to use an in-person ballot marking device. Each polling place will have one ballot marking device available. This will allow you to mark the ballot on a touchscreen or with accessible input devices. The device will then print a paper ballot that the voter can deposit in the scanner at the polling place, just like the hand-marked ballots. Poll workers will be trained to assist voters with the use of the ballot marking device so that they can complete their ballot in privacy. What do you do if you go to the polling place and your name is not in the poll book, or your signature does not appear to match the one in the poll book? You should ask to speak with the Judge of Elections, who is the person in charge. The Judge of Elections has the final word. If you are in the wrong polling place, you can leave and go to the correct one. Or the Judge of Elections can phone the Board of Elections to resolve the issue. In the case of other confusion, you have the right to a provisional ballot if you are challenged. Note, if you are in line at the polls when the polls close at 8 p.m. on Election Day, you must be allowed to vote by law, no matter how long it takes to get inside. If you requested a mail-in or absentee ballot and didn't return it, you may bring it to your polling place, turn it in to the Judge of Elections, sign in to the poll book, and vote on the machine at the polling place. Please note, you must bring the ballot, the secrecy envelope, and the official outside envelope. The Judge of Elections will mark them spoiled, and they will be returned to the Board of Elections in the spoiled ballot envelope to be accounted for. Similarly, if you aren't sure whether the county received your voted mail-in ballot in time, you may call the Board of Elections or ask the Judge of Elections to call them to see if your ballot was received. If you mailed it, but it has not been received by the Board of Elections, you may cast a provisional ballot at your polling place. However, if the county does receive your voted mail-in ballot by the close of polls on Election Day, that original ballot, not your provisional ballot, will be counted. Remember, you may always return your own absentee or mail-in ballot at the drop box at the County Board of Elections office in Doylestown, or at one of the other 2 drop boxes in Quakertown or Levitttown anytime before 8 p.m. on Election Day. Once the polls have closed, the Judge of Elections will extract the vote results from the scanning machines. These results, recorded on a secure USB device, will be sealed into a special orange bag and securely transported to the Board of Elections in Doylestown. Ballots which have been voted but not scanned, such as provisional ballots or ballots in the emergency ballot bag, will be transported to the Board of Elections for scanning. Similarly, the bags containing all the scanned paper ballots will be sealed and taken to the Board of Elections and held in the event of a recount. These paper ballots are retained for 2 years in the case of a presidential election and for 1 year for other elections. A recount of ballots is required in an election district if 3 qualified electors in that district file a petition alleging that fraud or error occurred in the tabulation of votes or the marking of election ballots. Moreover, the Secretary of the Commonwealth must order a recount if the vote is within 0.5% of the total number of votes cast in any race. In either case, the original paper ballots, hand-marked by voters, would be used for the recount. The Board of Elections is actively seeking county residents to become poll workers for the 2020 general election. Duties include opening and closing the polls, setting up voting equipment, registering and signing in voters, and assisting voters with questions. Poll workers are trained by the county and are paid for their service. For full-day workers, the salary is $195. For a half-day, the salary is $97.50, and the judge of elections will be paid $200. In general, the following are the requirements for becoming a poll worker. You must be a registered voter in the county in which you wish to serve. In most instances, government employees and officials are not allowed to serve. If your name appears on the ballot, you are not allowed to serve. In most cases, you must be able to work the full day from before the polls open at 7 a.m. until after the polls close at 8 p.m. High school students 17 years of age with parental and school permission are also allowed to serve. The League of Women Voters would like to thank the Bucks County Board of Elections for reviewing this informational video for accuracy. For more information about registering to vote and voting by mail, please see the other two videos in this series. For information about the League of Women Voters of Bucks County, call us at 215-230-9986, and please consider joining us. Thank you.